Alright, today, boys and girls, in this episode of Making Wine with Jack, I'm going to show you how to make a gallon of wine out of Welch's frozen grape juice concentrate. This is the white grape juice, which is the Niagara grapes. You can use the purple Concord grapes, it doesn't matter. Just you have to make sure it's 100% fruit juice. Don't get the fruit cocktail, won't work, it's got some kind of stuff in it. It won't let you make your wine very well. Basically, you need a bucket. This is a 2-gallon bucket, what you call a primary fermenter. There's a few winemaking tools you really kind of need. This is a hydrometer and a wine thief. You always got to make sure everything is clean, sanitized. This is Seabright. You can use this, a 1-step. You can use household bleach if you want to. So the main things you're going to need is, of course, your bucket, primary fermenter, grape juice, and you're going to need some wine yeast. Get your winemaking shop or you order on the internet. Acid blend, pectin enzyme, and then you're going to need regular old white table sugar, or regular old white granulated sugar, and of course water. I put my water in this just so I can measure it out. I've got some of the water already in a pan over there with some sugar that I dissolved, and I'll take you over there now and show you what I've done with the sugar. You're just using regular old white sugar from the store, cane sugar, beet sugar, whatever, just regular old white stuff there that you'd use at home. Don't use powdered sugar or brown sugar, just regular old white sugar. Okay, you want 1.25 pounds of sugar. So what I do is I already got some water in a pan getting hot here. Take my sugar and put it on the scale. Not quite a pound there. And you don't have to necessarily put 1.25 pounds of sugar in there because you can test it with your hydrometer. Each can of grapes is going to vary with sugar content. I mean, these two may not be the same. It depends on the grape, the sugar content, the time of harvest, and other varying factors. But on average, 1.25 pounds per gallon of sugar is what you would use here. So anyway, I almost got a pound here, but I'm gonna measure it out and I'm gonna dump it in the water. Stir it up a little bit and let that kind of dissolve into the water, and then shut it off and just let it sit and cool. Yeah, I know. Primitive camera operation. Anyway, alright, you've seen what I've done with the sugar while it's cooling down. I'm going to open up my Welch's grape juice here. Dump it in the bucket, primary. I'm going to put your water in, but I'd rinse out these little cups here a little bit. We can get all your juice out of it. Anyway, go ahead and dump the rest of your water in. I forgot to get my measuring spoon. Okay, you're going to need 2 teaspoons of acid blend. I can find teaspoons on here. Just going to dump your acid blend in there. Trying to make this video quick, don't want to bore you guys too bad. And 1 teaspoon of pectin enzyme. All these things enhance the grapes and give it what it needs. I mean, I guess you can make wine the primitive way with just bread yeast and not adding this stuff, but this makes it a lot better. This is a good beginner's wine if you want to get started in it. Cheap to make. and you're putting in 1 teaspoon of yeast nutrient. I'm going to stir that up with my wine fork. Now my sugar should be cooled a little bit. Go ahead and add that. Now, you want to check this with your hydrometer, check your sugar content. I didn't quite, the recipe calls for 1.25 pounds of sugar. I didn't quite put, I put about 1.1 pounds in there because I want to check it with a hydrometer. You know, it's just going to show you your alcohol content and everything, your potential alcohol, specific gravity. Wine Thief, this is just a cheap generic deal. All it does is have a hole, little deal here, a hole in the bottom, a hole in the top. Stick it in there, let it fill up. Put your thumb over it. Fill it up that way. This is going to tell you your potential alcohol content when your wine's done fermenting, when it's finished. And this is how you're going to need to check it throughout the whole process to understand what stage it's in and how it's looking or whatever. Now, if I don't have enough alcohol, I can add sugar to it, make the alcohol content a little higher to my desire, or you can add a little water if you got too much alcohol. Okay, right now, alcohol content, the potential alcohol is going to be about 10% alcohol. So that's fine with me. You don't want it too strong, you know. If you do want it strong, you can always add more. But see if you guys can see this. Some of you have never seen it before, how a hydrometer works. Put this on macro. Okay, here's the hydrometer in action. The sugar makes the hydrometer float. So see, we're a little bit, about 10.5% potential alcohol. And you can check your specific gravity too. There's different markings on this. So it's basically just a ball with a little weight in it and floats in a beaker here with your wine. Okay. One more thing I forgot to show you you're going to need is Camden tablets. Now this is sodium metabisulfite. It looks like a little pill, like an aspirin or whatever. Just take one, you grind it up, put it in there, and sprinkle on top. This is going to kill any bacteria, any kind of natural yeast that's already in your grapes. So when you put your wine yeast in there, it doesn't affect your wine yeast or kill your wine yeast or cause any other kind of unwanted fermentation later on and all that scientific stuff. But anyway, put your Camden tablet in there, let it sit 24 hours. What I usually do when I first start my batch is I cover it with a kitchen towel, put a rubber band around it so air can get out, or so it can breathe or whatever. And after 24 hours, I'm going to take my wine yeast, comes in a packet. This is good for 5 gallons, so you don't have to dump the whole package in there for 1 gallon. But when you do dump it in there, you just want to sprinkle a little bit, quarter of a pack, half a pack, whatever you want, on there on top. Put your towel back on it, and after a couple days, if you get one of these primary fermenters here, they come with a lid. It's got a little hole in it, and you put an airlock in there. If I can find one, I don't see one handy, but you put your airlock in there, put your lid back on it, and then you let it sit for a while, and you just keep checking specific gravity. Can't think the number offhand here. Let me look. Specific gravity is about 1.000. That's when you want to transfer this into a glass carboy, like this deal here. Put your rubber bung in it, your airlock on it. You're going to let it sit for a while, a month or so. Drain this off into another glass carboy, what they call racking, and then let it sit, and then a few months, and then you're ready to bottle it and drink it. Thanks for watching. Hope this helps somebody out. Hope it didn't bore you too much. Have any questions, leave a comment. See if I can help you out.